Man's fascination with reaching the heavens. Yep, that's what we're gonna talk about today. You guys ever watch that episode of South Park where Kenny is dead, but they need to get something from him, but he's dead? So, what do Stan, Kyle, Cartman do? They build a ladder to heaven so that they could talk with Kenny and get what they need from him. I haven't watched that episode in a while. I haven't watched South Park in a while. But yeah, I might consider watching that episode again to see exactly how it happened. But yeah, they're building a ladder to heaven with everything that they could find. And then parents find out, people find out, and they're in awe, they're fascinated with this, and they decide to help them out. And then it gets funnier because then China finds out that they're building a ladder to heaven, but then they're like, oh, we want to be the first ones to reach heaven, so they build a huge ass tower. And then there's a scene where they fake being in heaven and all that stuff. And I don't really know what happens at the end. I think Cartman drinks Kenny's ashes because he mixes his ashes with milk, thinking it's like chocolate, like a Nesquik. And he drinks Kenny's ashes, and then he starts to get visions from Kenny about where he put the item that they needed to find, and then that's how they find it. But then Kenny's soul essence is stuck in Cartman, and then for the rest of the season, basically Kenny's stuck inside Cartman, and he speaks through Cartman, and Cartman is like constantly like, shut up, Kenny. So yeah, really fun episode. I'm considering watching it again soon. But it has me thinking, it has me thinking about why have we created like the Empire State Building. I think the tallest building in the world is found in Japan or China, either one of those two. Second would be the Empire State Building, or India, or Singapore, Dubai. Any of these cities where they're huge ass towers, why did we build them in the first place? And I'm just asking questions. There are no definite answers. I'm philosophical. I'm bored most of the time, so most of the time I ask myself questions, and I question things, and I think about things. Maybe there's one of the things I think about is maybe there's like something in our subconscious to get close to heaven, to reach heaven. But no matter how high we build these buildings, we can never do it. Even if we were to build a building so high, it would just touch the sky. It would break through the atmosphere, and it'd be in outer space. But we'd never reach heaven. We can reach the cosmos first before we can reach heaven. We could reach the end of the universe first before we'll probably reach heaven, So one of the people that want to take us to Mars, as you may know, is Elon Musk. Why does he want to colonize Mars? Maybe he's dissatisfied with Earth. That guy has to be paranoid. Like, he must be, having trouble sleeping at night. I don't know what the hell he thinks about. No one can really know what the hell he thinks about except himself. But, he's creating Neuralink. And, some people applauding for that, but I'm revolted by this. I'm revolted by the fact that he wants to basically put microchips in everyone and, like, have some level of control over people. I don't know if he wants to mind control everybody. I don't know if he wants us thinking a certain type of way. It's absurd. Like, no one's gonna do it unless you're an idiot, unless you're a hardcore Elon Musk dick rider. you're probably gonna get Neuralink, and it's crazy. It's crazy. They're starting to. I don't know if this is probably like a prototype, but I saw a video, I think a TikTok of some lady. She's like, oh, well, I'm gonna place a microchip inside my thumb and I'm gonna use it to scan groceries in a grocery store. And then the whole thing actually worked. And I'm just like, I am so infuriated upon watching stupid garbage like that. Lady, you're the reason why we have anti-vaxxers, bro. You are the fucking reason we have anti-vaxxers. You're proving them right. And she's probably thinking in her little naive head, oh, so what? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with, microchipping yourself, giving control to some sort of entity other than yourself? What's wrong with that? People are going to ask themselves, what's wrong with this? It's very wrong to be doing this. If you were a sane individual, you would not do this. But guess what? We're going to grow old one day. And one day, the children that are being brought up into this world, they're going to be like, I don't see what the issue is with microchipping myself. They're going to microchip themselves. They're not going to have an issue with it. The same thing happened with the iPhone when it first came out. No one wanted it, but now we're all using it. Eventually, everyone is going to microchip themselves or wear these fucking eye contacts that can see through the future and all that stuff. These digital, you wear these eye contacts and it's like putting a phone in your eye, in your retina, and they could scan it, they could do all sorts of things with it. That's gonna be the future we live in, and our children are gonna accept it. They're gonna think that we're the weird ones, that we're so out of date, we're so out of touch, and we're still gonna be against it, because once your mind is made up about something, it's hard to change it. That's why I also think there's no use in arguing with people or trying to prove yourself right. Why are you trying to prove yourself right? Like, that's just your ego. That's your ego talking. And what's gonna really suck is that eventually everyone is gonna need to be microchipped in order to probably get a job, to probably order something from Starbucks or McDonald's or whatever the fuck. It just would make things much easier. And if you can't beat them, you have no other choice to join them, because then you're not going to fit in with society. Things are just going to be very extremely incredible hard for you if you don't get microchipped. So yeah, I'm totally against that. I'm going to really have, I need to stick up for myself. I need to advocate against these things, and I will any form I can. For now, I'm doing it behind a screen, behind a video. And for those of you that are watching, thank you so much for watching. I make these videos mostly to share my thoughts and to entertain you guys, try to be funny and all that stuff. And that's really what it should be. You shouldn't be thinking really hard about these topics. Get through your life, get through your work, enjoy your family, enjoy your lives. That should be more important than watching these videos or watching any YouTube video out there. I think we got our priorities mixed up when it comes to that regard, but it's kind of hypocritical for me to say, because now I'm uploading videos and also watching them as well. So anyway, back to the topic at hand. You see, I tend to lose focus on the topic, but when things get interesting, you just talk and talk and talk. So yeah, man builds towers that can never reach heaven. And I asked myself, how would we really reach heaven? If there was a heaven, how would they go about reaching it? Look, I think if God wanted us to be on Mars, we would be in Mars, okay? We wouldn't have to build contraptions to get to Mars. We would just naturally be there, and we'd be breathing whatever air we had to breathe in there, because I don't think Mars has any oxygen. I don't know how the fuck people are gonna get oxygen up there. Maybe if they colonize Mars, Mars will be the next Dubai. As you know, this world's Dubai rots. As the whole world rots, everyone wants to get out and explore space. Maybe not in our lifetime, maybe not in the next lifetime, in the next lifetime, in the next lifetime, but somewhere along the lines, maybe this is gonna happen. You know, space shuttles are gonna be real. Uh, you may live on Earth, but to get to work, you have to go to Mars, and then, you know, from Mars you go to an asteroid, and that asteroid is the place that you work. You know, maybe I'm watching too much science fiction. I think that's what it is, and I'm believing this. You know, I don't know if this is gonna happen or not. But there's a realm of possibility out there, and not everything is absolute. Yep, not everything is absolute. And I think about artists too. One of the artists I think about is Leonardo DiCaprio. No, what the fuck? No, not Leonardo DiCaprio. Leonardo da Vinci. He was an artist from the Renaissance. He made all these amazing sculptures and paintings of the Renaissance to resemble God and resemble the angels and Mary and Jesus. Him, Michelangelo, Vincent van Gogh, you know, all those artists. I don't think Vincent van Gogh was from the same era as Leonardo da Vinci, so I may be off there. And another cool thing I want to get into is that from what I've heard, Leonardo da Vinci, he created like a contraption that could that you could put on yourself and you can fly. Like literally he created like a glider for humans to fly. He broke barriers during his time, but I think he had to get rid of that contraption because, you know, if you could invent something like that back in the day that he grew up in, you were considered a heretic. You know, you were considered ungodly. So I think what happened was that he destroyed that. He destroyed all evidence of it, and we weren't able to get like a flying contraption. So this is what the guy did. And again, this is just a fable. I don't think it may or may not be true, unless you do research. I'm too lazy to do research, so you know, I'm just putting this up in the air. You know, there's a lot of things that humans have done. From what I hear, they build engines that run on water, but that can't ever happen. If you know that something like that can never happen in this world, because if they find out you do something like that, oof, it's crazy. That's why we gotta be careful what we say on the internet. Yeah, the reason being is because there are so many families that make money off of oil, and so they don't want you inventing something that can disrupt their line of business. You know, they're like a mafia cartel. So anyway, that's enough of that. Yeah, so in a way, Leonardo was probably obsessed with God and heaven, as so many people were during this time. It was normal to worship God and to worship heaven. But I think Leonardo was the one that said he hated all of the paintings that he made. His sculptures were horrible. This is what he said about them. They were a waste of time, they were a waste of space, they were a waste of breath. He regretted making them in the first place. But they're beautiful, actually. Like the Mona Lisa is beautiful. Everything about what he created, even if it was like a prototype, even if it was unfinished, it was great. But he just didn't see it that way. I think he wanted to replicate God and the heavens, but that's stuff that can't be replicated on painting. Because we've never seen God, we've never seen an angel before, we never seen Jesus, we never seen Mary. Like, we only depict them through paintings and sculptures. This is probably why he hated his own work, because he didn't really know who God was, or what God was, or who Jesus was, what Jesus looked like, and what Mary looked like. So he just went off of his own interpretation, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting too much deep into it. But yeah, that must be like some of the reasons. So yeah, he created something that could cause man to fly. I wonder why. I wonder if there's anyone that out there that asked the Wright brothers when they invented the airplane, why did they create it? Did they just want to innovate technology, or was it for some other reason? Maybe they wanted to reach the skies, pet a duck in the air, or maybe something more, something greater. Why did man invent the airplane? So yeah, there was a lot discussed in this video. I really don't know how to end it, but I'll end it here. And look, I've just made 3 videos, so yeah, I feel proud of myself for that effort. Never give up, never stop working, and adios.